Let's get into it. Booktok's Disturbing Pick-Me Men by Royal Young. I'm scared. What do you do when you're rejected? I completely crash out, fuck everything, and work myself into oblivion. That's how I cope with pain.
If a woman rejects you, what do you do? A. Walk away and take it maturely. B. Find a close friend to vent about your feelings to. Or C. Get on your knees on the spot and beg. If you picked A or B, you are wrong.
So A, I do that. But I also do something in combination. Vent to a friend? Never. Beg on your knees? Never. No.
Because the answer is actually D. You kidnap them.
I agree. I agree. We should do that. Maybe I should do that. I think I have an idea to solve my problem. I'm just kidnapping her. Getting ready to kidnap her because she thought I was joking. Is that hunting Adeline? Or Adeline? TikToker learned in serial... Cleared in serial murder investigation. Oh boy.
Oh my goodness!
What's good, everyone? Unfortunately, I have just discovered a new genre of man. That's right, a new guy has just dropped, and that is the Booktok Pick-Me. And if you thought the Booktok girlies were bad, you are not even ready for these goobers.
Ew.
If you don't know what Booktok...
The victim has an attitude. No kidnapping, that's my job, allegedly. Nah, I think that might be the solution to my problem. I'm just kidding.
is essentially it's the community on TikTok that discusses books. But they're infamous because a huge proportion of those books are just spice. And a huge proportion of that spice...
A huge portion is just porn.
...is dark romance, which is code for romanticized abuse. Now, I'm aware that there is nuance in this conversation. However, Booktok takes it to 100 all the time to an extremely unhealthy degree. And while the women are already bad enough on this platform, the men who pander to their gaze...
Go back. Go back. Go back. There's a man, masked man with a knife in the woods. Oh my god. This is women, clearly.
...on this platform, the men who pander to their gaze are on a whole other level. Now, our first goober to cover today is Shad. Now, Shad's most popular video is this absolute banger.
If he really wanted you, he'd kidnap you. This is unhinged as fuck. Oh my god.
Now look, I am a cis male, but every drop of estrogen in my body has just disintegrated out of pure terror because I can't even imagine having a feminine trait in the same timeline as this guy. That's right, this TikTok has maybe transitioned from male to alpha male. And somehow this guy is the least disturbing guy we have to cover today. But seriously though, could you imagine this being pulled up at a job interview? Alright, look man, your resume looks good, we were gonna hire you, and then we did a little background check and we found your TikTok. Could you explain this?
No, you couldn't. You could not. You could not explain this. You could not explain this. You just couldn't.
Alright man, so you see, there's like a group on TikTok and they all want me to kidnap them. Look man, like this looks terrible for the company. I don't think we can- Wait! He's perfect! Colleen Hoover? And you'd expect the comments to be ripping into him, but no, like every single comment is gassing him up. Only if he's in the mafia or a werewolf, and only if it's in a book. We gave him too many of our secrets, guys! Guys, he has too many of our secrets!
Humans were a mistake. Humans were a mistake. A big mistake. A huge mistake.
And on a side note, but why does every Booktok girly talk like wizards? Like, Booktok has summoned me! And they even be performing rituals. And on one of the very few negative comments he got, he replied to it with this insanity. I'm not even sorry for the way I've been acting. I've been nice for way too f***ing long, bitch. Imagine leaving a rather reasonable comment and getting this in your video reply.
Whoever he's talking to you, they're getting the belt.
And while quite frankly, I doubt this dude is dangerous in real life, and that's not what I'm trying to imply at all. It's really, really creepy to me to see dudes pandering to the Booktok gaze and trying to be like these often very problematic, quote-unquote, book boys, which he even admits he's trying to do. And this one obviously isn't that crazy on the surface, but this comment had me dying. Like, I get what you're going for, but what does this mean? Did Braille write this comment? Now, to Shad's credit, he actually does read books, but this is an issue when you consider the content of the books he's reading.
When the book doesn't contain consensual non-consent, this is the second time we've seen this. Like, what is this? This is the reason why dudes are getting in trouble. that follow these, that like do these crazy things with these crazy women. Chat, never stick your dick in crazy. Says the guy that likes crazy women. I love how he paused the video and he thought what to say for a few seconds. Yeah, sometimes I need to contemplate what I'm seeing.
Like, if you're not familiar with Hunting Adeline, essentially, the main character's love interest SAs her. And not only that, but this book's entire plot is just the main character getting brutalized. It's horrible.
Synopsis: Addie gets kidnapped by a human trafficking organization and is abused and groomed by her captors to prepare her for a new buyer. This cruel episode changed her for the worse. She began fashioning herself as an angel of death. Now Addie is determined to get at her abuser with the help of her stalker, now boyfriend Zaid. Zaid abuses her too. Shad often compares herself to Zaid. This is women. Some of these women are odd. Like, why are you reading this? Why are you fantasizing about this?
What? Why are you as a man reading this? And why are you complaining that other books don't have as much of it? Like, what do you gain from this? Why does this appeal to you? And why are you trying to find an audience that agrees with it? Again, I'm not trying to assume anything about Shad here, but it still feels a little icky to me. And I guess, really my point is that there's other websites for this. Why would you pick TikTok? A public, pretty unregulated platform full of minors? Regardless of intentions, that's just not responsible. Oh wait, it's because he plugs his OnlyFans here. This is a marketing scheme. Subscribe for a
Silence. Silence. I don't know what to say. The dudes are doing it as well.
Shad OnlyFans review. Like, great job, dude. You promoted your OnlyFans on a platform full of minors. That's enough about Shad, though. Let's talk about our next subject. Black Oxy.
The funny part is that there's a lot of female creators on TikTok that when you look at their bio, they have a link tree, and that link tree usually contains an OnlyFans. That's how this goes. That's the usual thing.
Now, Oxy leans entirely into the kidnapper side of his personality. He even has a whole kidnap Sona, and that's all his content is about. And he too panders to the Booktok girlies.
You must be sick if you enjoy taking victims and treating them like the men in their books. What the fuck?
And for reference, the men in these books are often extremely abusive. Like, they're often stalkers, commit SA, are verbally or physically abusive, they're sometimes relatives, or have an extremely
Well, it isn't fun if they're not related, right? Yes, I took that from an anime. So if D-Luke gets a Linktree run, I'm never gonna get a Linktree.
Problematic age gap, and he's just admitting he's like trying to be like them to the Booktok girlies. Like, it's already creepy enough watching the women of Booktok do this, but it's just on a whole other level watching the men pander to that. Like, why do you like this? Well, you'd expect him to be doing this insane stuff because it got him attention.
Exactly, it also got him attention. Am I the only, like, I don't make double standards. The people fantasizing about being victims are odd, and the people wanting to do it to them are also odd.
It actually doesn't. He doesn't get that many likes. Like, this one only had 276.
Silly girl, you locked us in. Your BF doesn't make it in time. What the frick is this?
Like, he's just here for pure love of the game. I find it hilarious, though, how he has a contact named My Victim, devil emoji, knife emoji. And at what point in the incident did they swap numbers? Like, hey, I just wanted to say, I think you're really pretty. Can I get your number? Of course, you beautiful, hot alpha Chad. You can go ahead and have my kids, too. Appreciate it. Hey, don't you at least need my...
I wouldn't mind if that happened. I wouldn't mind if that happened.
My name, though? No need. And side note, but I'm genuinely curious how this looks as court evidence, too. I mean, I'm sure it can get dismissed as a joke or something. Never mind. Now, Oxy isn't nearly as popular as Shad is. He has an OnlyFans, he has a merch store, and an Instagram, but they're all really small. But in a way that makes it creepier to me, it's like, dude, you're not even getting much attention from this. Why this route? Like, I say this with an unblemished record of heterosexuality, but you look good. Like, you could just be a normal thirst trapper. Why are you picking this line of work? Oxy's entire business model is just saying the most out-of-pocket things ever and just watching as all the
Went out loud in the break room. Can I bring you to the Dominican with me? I need a... Just an FYI, my dorm bedroom window is unlocked for you. Freaks. Are we there yet? I'm about to I don't know what I'm gonna do to you, but it's gonna be something mean. No food for you today.
Booktok women roll into his comments.
Don't move or I'll catch you.
Now, I'm pretty sure Oxy's content does poison damage because every one of his comments are talking about how they can't breathe. And neither can I, but it's not out of attraction, it's because he's pulling on my leash too hard. Now, is...
That was a funny thing put in there. That was funny to put in there. Where are you off to? I think you could get away from me that easily. What the...
Is he dangerous? Probably not, but he's definitely on that watchlist speedrun, and I just really dislike the fact that you can come onto TikTok, post some absolutely insane kidnapper roleplay content, and then have a direct way to contact you in your bio. Like, this is a platform full of kids. What are you doing? There's other websites for this, allegedly. Now, before I get into my final thoughts on this trend, I want to cover one final guy, which there are many more. These are just the three that stuck out to me most, and that is Jack the Ripper, who is actually an author. Now look, Oxy is a generational kidnapper, but Jack is the LeBron James of kidnapping. He even posted his highlight tape.
LeBron James of kidnapping. D-Luke moved, and so did you. Which means, yeah, you want him to come after you, clearly.
Another breaking news update, a death investigation with a large crime scene. Police tell us they found a man dead inside a home on Long Road around 8 o'clock last night.
What the fuck? At this point in the video, it's just what the fuck am I looking at? Like, what is this?
This might be the hardest crime edit ever dropped. And how did he convince her to act in this? Like, babe, I need to make a kidnapping edit. Can I chase you through the woods real quick? Speaking of chases through the woods, this is what his book is about. And it's also called Jack the Ripper, so I really hope this isn't a biography. Something interesting about this book is that Jack is actually a diagnosed psychopath, and he has the brain scans to prove it. And he stated on the news once that this book is a way to
What? Should we lock this man up? I think we should lock this man up. Let's lock this man up, okay? Are we for that? Should we do that? Should we lock this man up?
explore his urges? Like, what do you mean by that?
My book is honestly a mixture of like horror, dark romance, psychological thriller, and suspense, and just me channeling like my psychopathic thoughts, honestly.
I don't mean to stigmatize what he's going through, because I can empathize with that. That sounds terrible to deal with. Like, psychopathy isn't something you...
Why can you empathize with that? Why can you empathize with that? Was that a self-report, buddy? Yeah, I stole buddy from you, Raven. What are you gonna do about it? Sue me?
could really control, and I hope he gets the help he needs. But the reason I'm including him in this video is because I really can't figure out what his motives are here. Now, I'm not his therapist, but I am pretty skeptical of the idea that this actually helps with these urges, and I really couldn't find any reading to back me up or back him up. But say it does, it's still weird to me that he chooses to promote this sort of content to an audience that's going to romanticize it. Like, why Booktok specifically? Why not, like, horror fans or true crime fans? No, all of his stuff is like thirst traps for Booktok, or trying to promote his book among people who find it arousing. Like, why this demographic? What is the motive? And again, I don't know what the content of the book is gonna be like. Like, I don't know if the book itself is going to romanticize these acts, but he sure as hell is promoting it among people.
I've always said my obsession with serial deleters will be...
Who will do that. Now, Jack also posts all sorts of relatable crime content for those of us in the business. Like, dude, don't you just hate when they find the duct tape and tarps? Like, the slip and slide was supposed to be a surprise. And I get that the 4-foot hole is to sound threatening, but this one makes me think it's for another purpose.
Ew.
Me when I find a dentist I trust.
I'd let him pull my teeth. No!
Now, this might just be a marketing stunt, but it doesn't make it any less weird. Now, once again, I should specify, I'm not trying to assume anything about his character. I'm just trying to point out trends that I find concerning. And that leads me to my final thoughts. Now, the reason I made this video, other than as an excuse to make fun of thirst traps, because that is my favorite hobby, is because I worry where this trend is going. Now, there aren't a lot of men like this yet. And regardless of whether Shad, Oxy, and Jack are...
Yet, huh? You make videos about it, so it's gonna be more men. Chat, I think I have a new business idea. I'm gonna attract the crazy women.
Are actually dangerous men. I find it really concerning that they can hop on this platform, say some crazy out-of-pocket stuff, and then get unanimous praise for it. And the reason I find this worrying is because, from what I can gather, in a lot of kink communities, there's already a huge issue with abusive, dangerous men, because due to the nature of these groups, they have a very high tolerance for this sort of behavior. So it makes it very hard to determine people with good intentions versus bad intentions. And it really bothers me to see this sort of thing get brought to a public platform that's rather unregulated and full of minors. And I pray that this trend dies down before somebody comes along who's actually serious about it. Because again, how are you supposed to tell the two apart? And that's ultimately why I made this video, because I found the trend concerning. Let me know if you'd like a longer video on Booktok, because I really enjoyed making this one. It was extremely funny to me. You could tell by my dead eyes. And yeah, that's all. Later.
Yeah, we could tell by his dead eyes. Freaks! These are all freaks. There's no denial that these aren't freaks.